that is how the conductor layers will be, and what is made up of. And there are so many layers like bedding, armoring, serving, and lead sheet, insulation. Okay, today we shall discuss about the problems, and also we have derived the insulation resistance derivation, right? Based on that, we shall discuss the problems here. A single core cable has a conductor diameter 1 centimeter and insulation thickness of 0.4 centimeter. If the specific resistance of insulation is 5 into 10 to the power of 14 ohm centimeter, calculate the insulation resistance for 2 kilometer length of the cable. For 2 kilometer length of the cable, how much insulation resistance should be? So R1 is equal to 1 divided by 2, 0.5 centimeter. And what about L? L is equal to 2 kilometer they have given. They have converted into, that is 2000 meter. Okay. Rho is equal to 5 into 10 to the power of 14 ohm centimeter. That can be written as 5 into 10 to the power of 12 ohm meter. They have converted centimeter to meter. 0.5 plus 4, because here conductor diameter of 1 centimeter, that means this one R1, okay, D1 is equal to that is D1 they have given, so divided by 2, 1 divided by 2 you will get 0.5, that is inner conductor. Okay, and overall conductor means 0.4 plus 0.5, that is 0.4 plus 0.5, you will get 0.9 centimeter inner conductor and the total insulation. Okay, this one like this. Okay, this one resistance, and this one they have given the diameter 1 centimeter, and overall including the insulation part they have given the 0.4 centimeter, that is the insulation thickness they have given the 0.4 centimeter. Okay, so if we add these radius and overall radius, you'll get the 0.9 centimeter. R2 is equal to, insulation resistance of a cable is capital R is equal to rho divided by 2 pi L log E R2 divided by R1. So we know the value, right? We know the value of rho and we know the value of L and also R2, R1. Substitute, you will get 234 mega ohm. Problem: the insulation resistance of a single core cable is 495 mega ohm per kilometer. If the core diameter is 2.5 centimeter and resistivity of insulation is 4.5 into 10 to the power 14, and find the insulation thickness. They have not given the R2 value. Okay, here we need to find out the R2 value. They have given the L value and they have given the R value, that is rho value. Sorry, 495 resistance value they have given. Insulation resistance is this much, 495 mega ohm. They have given small R1 value, rho value. We need to find out R2 value. Okay, this is the insulation thickness. So we know the value of log R2 divided by R1 is equal to cross multiply. So 2 pi L into R divided by, this will come to denominator. So divided by rho. We know the value L value is 1000 and R value is 495 mega ohm, and rho value is 4.5 into 10 to the power of 12. Okay. So log R2 divided by R1, how much you will get? 0.69. From this, again here 2.3 log R2 divided by R1 is equal to 0.69. How we get that? 2.3 log R2 divided by R1 is equal to 0.69. Because 1 divided by 2, this R2 divided by R1 is equal to e to the power of 0.69. You'll get 1.99, that is equal to 2. This one you don't consider, okay, 2.3. Log R2 divided by R1 is equal to 0.69. R2 divided by R1, this, if log will go this side, then it will become e to the power of. So e to the power of 0.69 is 1.99. So that is equals to 2. What about R2 is equal to 2 times of R1, okay, because R2 divided by R1, we want R2 value, we know the value of R1, right? So substitute R1 value is 1.25, so you'll get R2 is equal to 2.5 centimeter. Insulation thickness, that is R2 minus R1, because the R2 is overall thickness, overall radius value. We don't know the value of, for example, this circle, this radius is R1 and this overall circle, this is R2, okay, this is R2. So we want only thickness value. So what we need to do? R2 minus R1. Okay. R2 minus R1 is equal to 2.5 minus 1.25. So you'll get 1.25 centimeter. That is the insulation thickness. Next problem. A single core cable kilometer long has an insulation resistance of 0.4 mega ohm. The core diameter is 20 mm and the diameter of the cable over the insulation is 50 mm. Calculate the resistivity of the insulating material. We need to find out the rho. Okay. So L is equal to they have given, R is equal to they have given, R1 also they have given, R2 also they have given. They have given in the diameter, we have converted into radius. Okay, fine. What is the formula here? R is equal to rho divided by 2 pi L log R2 divided by R1. They have not given this value. Okay, they have not given this value. So R value they have given 0.4 into 10 to the power of 6. And 2 pi into 5000. L value is 5000 log 25 divided by 10. Converted into millimeter here. Because they have given in terms of millimeter only. Okay. So get here rho is equal to multiply this one. Okay. 0.4 into 10 to the power of 6 into 2 pi into 5000 divided by log e to 25 divided by 10. How much you get the value? This you will get in the denominator. Okay. After solving this, you will get 13.72 into 10 to the power of 5. Okay, this is the problems regarding the insulation resistance. Next topic is grading of cables. Okay, we have discussed about the layers of cables. Okay, right? So many layers. For each layer, it may get a stress, different level of stress, okay, equal stress. It may have chances of breaking the insulation, okay, because outer layer will have a more stress and next layer it will be less, and depends like that. Okay, the or it will be more, outer layer will be less, insulation will have more stress, and next lead sheet will have, compared to that insulation, lead sheet will have little less pressure or like that. What they are saying is the process of achieving uniform distribution of stress. Okay, the stress for the conductor so many layers, it should be equally divided. The process of achieving the uniform distribution of stress in the insulation of cables is known as grading of cables. We have seen that stress in the insulation is maximum because after the core or after the cable, next layer only insulation, so it will have a maximum stress, and next is a lead sheath. So it will have minimum, because when you compare it with the insulation and the conductor surface, we have seen that stress in the insulation is maximum at the conductor surface and minimum at the sheath. To avoid the breakdown of the insulation, it is necessary to have a uniform distribution of stress all along the insulation. If it is there are many layers, then the stress should be equal distribution. There are two methods of grading of cables, which are use of intersheath for grading and next is a capacitance grading. First, intersheath grading. In this method of cable grading, a homogeneous dielectric is used. In this method, what they do means a homogeneous dielectric is used, but it is divided into various layers by placing a metallic intersheath between core and lead sheath. Okay, the intersheaths have held at suitable potential which have in between the core potential and earth potential. First, what they do, they take a homogeneous dielectric and it is divided into many layers by placing the many layers placed between between core and lead sheath, and that layers have a equal potential. Okay. This arrangement improves voltage distribution in the dielectric of the cable and consequently more uniform potential gradient is obtained. Consider a cable of core diameter D and outer lead sheath of diameter capital D. Suppose that two intersheath of diameter, that is D1 and D2, are inserted into the homogeneous dielectric and maintained at some fixed potential. For example, let's take V1 and V2, V3 respectively be the voltage between the core and intersheath 1, 2, 3. Okay, like that 1, 2. V1 voltage is between the core and intersheath 1 and V2 is between the intersheath 1 and 2 and V3 is between the intersheath 2 and outer lead sheath. Okay, if you see the diagram you will understand. Okay, between this and this V1, okay, between the here V1, between these two cables or these two layers V2, between these two layers V3. Okay, first we shall write the maximum stress between the core and intersheath 1. G1 max is equal to V1 divided by D by 2 log E D1 divided by D, because this diameter, this small cable diameter is D by 2. Okay, and this small cable, the radius, this one is radius is equal to D by 2. So that is what they have written, D by 2 log E D1 divided by D2, D1 divided by D. Okay, this one overall. The V1 is between what? This total, this is D1. Okay, this is D1. Okay, this total D1. So D1 divided by D. Okay. Next, for G2 max, similarly, we are considering the intersheath 1 and intersheath 2. So intersheath 1 is D1. Okay, we will consider this one as D1 and for this D2, right? D2. So what we can write the equation? V2 divided by first layer d1. So d1 by 2 log E, second layer between these two layers, right? So d2 divided by d1. G3 max is equal to, similarly next is intersheet 2 and lead sheet we are considering d2 and d3. First layer is d2. So d2 divided by 2 log E capital D. The overall diameter is, lead sheet diameter is capital D. Okay, not d3, capital D. So capital D divided by small d2. The dielectric is homogeneous. Since we have taken the dielectric is homogeneous, maximum stress in each layer is the same. That is T1 max is equal to G2 max is equal to G3 max is equal to G max, we can say. Write the equation as it is like that only. V1 divided by D by 2 log E D1 by D, that is equal to V2 divided by D1 by 2 log E D2 divided by D1, that is equal to V3 divided by D2 divided by 2 log E D capital D divided by D2. As the cable will behave like the three capacitors in series, therefore all the potential are in phase. So voltage between conductor and after the lead sheath is V is equal to what we can write? V1 plus V2 plus V3. Intersheath grading has three principal disadvantages. Firstly, there are complications in fixing the sheath potentials. We need to fix the potential for each layer, right? That is difficult. And second one is, here the intersheath are likely to be damaged during transportation and installation, which might result in a local concentration of potential gradient. And the third is, there are considerably losses in the intersheath due to charging currents. These are the three disadvantages. For these reasons only, intersheath grading is rarely used. Next, we shall discuss problems. Next, we shall discuss the capacitance grading. Capacitance grading. This is about the intersheath. In intersheath, they take a homogeneous and they take a intersheath layers, and for each for between two layers there is a voltage potential gradient, and next they write the G equation for each voltage V1, V2, V3 like that. Okay. Capacitance grading. The grading done by using the layers of dielectrics having a different permittivity. They homogeneous dielectric. Here they take a layers of dielectric having a different permittivity between the core and the sheath. It is called a capacitance grading. In intersheath grading, the permittivity of dielectric is same everywhere and the dielectric is said to be homogeneous. But in case of capacitance grading, a composite dielectric is used. There are three dielectrics of outer diameter D1, D2 and capital D of relative permittivity, that is epsilon 1, epsilon 2, epsilon 3 respectively. If the permittivities are such that is epsilon 1 greater than 2, epsilon 2 greater than epsilon 3. These are the three dielectrics are worked at the same maximum stress. Then what is the equation? We can write 1 divided by epsilon 1 into D, that is equal to epsilon 1 divided by epsilon 2 into D1, that is equal to 1 divided by epsilon 3 into D2. G1 max is equal to G2 max is equal to G3 max. G1 max is equal to Q, because we are considered here capacitance. So Q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon 1 into D by 2. This is the diagram. Okay. There are between this and this epsilon 1 and the what is the distance? D by 2. So Q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon 1 D by 2. What about G2 max? is equal to q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon 2 d1 divided by d2, because this diameter d by 2. Okay, this one, second one is d1 by 2, and next is a d2 by 2. G3 max is equal to q divided by 2 pi epsilon 3 d2 divided by 2. Okay, they consider this one. Okay, first layer, they have considered the distance of first layer. That means if we are writing the G1 max equation, then the first layer diameter is small d by 2, and the second layer like this. Okay, till this the distance, the diameter is d1 divided by 2. So for second equation, d1 divided by 2, and for third equation they have written d2 divided by 2. That means this layer diameter they have taken. So next, v1 is equal to integration g dx. So what is the g, what we got? V1, first G1 max, q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon 1 x they have written. Instead of d by 2, they have written the x. Okay, they will apply the limit d by 2 to d1 by 2. v1 means between these two layers v1 will be there. So d by 2 to d1 by 2, we can apply the limit is d by 2 to d1 by 2. Q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon 1 by x, you will get log x. So log x, when you apply the limit log d1 by 2 minus log d2 by 2, you will get the, when you integrate 1 by x, you will get the log x, right? Log x. When you apply the limit, what you will get? Log d1 by 2 minus log log d by 2. So log a minus log b, log a by b, that is what they have written here. Okay, similarly v1 is equal to g max. This equation, what we can write? This equation can be written as g max divided by 2. Okay, g max divided by 2 d log e d1 divided by d, because here G1 max is equal to q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon 1 d divided by 2 is there. So this, if we consider here, then what you will get? 2 into G1 max divided by 2 d log e d1 by d. Okay, that is what, from that equation they have converted. Okay. So next, what you will get? This 2 will go up. So this 2 will come to the numerator. G1 max divided by 2 and d will go to the numerator. So G1 max d divided by 2 is nothing but q divided by 2 pi epsilon naught epsilon 1. Okay, just they have converted the equation. Potential across second layer V2 and third layer V3 is given by V2 is equal to, similarly by using this formula only we can write directly. Okay, this equation we have written by using the first layer, that is conductor D and D1. So we can write G max divided by 2. Instead of D, D1 we need to write log E D2 divided by D1. For similarly V3 equation, G max divided by 2 D2, because next step is D2 log E D2. After D2 what you will get? Capital D. So capital D. After D1 what you will get? Next layer D2. Just change the next layers. Okay, instead of D we have written the next layer D1. Instead of D1, next layer is D2. and here D is next layer is D1. Okay, we can write instead of solving again, we can write directly V2 and V3 equation. If the cable had homogeneous dielectrics, then for the same values of D, capital D and G max, the permissible potential difference between core and earthed sheath would have been D dash is equal to G max divided by 2 D log E capital D divided by small d. Obviously, V is always greater than V dash for a given dimensions of the cable. A graded cable can be worked at a greater potential than non-graded cable. Alternatively, for the same safe potential, the size of a graded cable will be less than that of non-graded cable. What they are saying is a graded cable can be worked at a greater potential than non-graded cable. At the same time, for the same safe potential of the the height of the graded cable will be less than. If we grade, then the size of the cable will be same as if you compare with the non-graded cable. The following points may be noted, that is as the permissible value of G max are peak values, therefore all the voltages in above expression should be less taken as a peak values and not the RMS values. We should consider the peak values. Okay, if the maximum stress in the three dielectric is not the same, then V is equal to G1 max divided by 2 D log E D1 by 2 plus G2 max D1 divided by 2 log E D2 divided by 2. That they have added the V1, V2, V3 equations. Okay, if the condition is maximum stress in the dielectric is not the same. In next class, we shall discuss the problems on that is the intersheath grading and capacitance grading.